Good evening. This is a meeting of the Policy Subcommittee of the Lowell School Committee. We'll have the clerk call the roll.
Chairperson Nutter?
Here.
Ms. Doherty? Ms. Martin? Here. Two present, one absent.
This meeting is to talk about the motion that I had developing a policy in regards to responding to emails sent to school committee SC at lowell.k12.ma.us. And at this time, I would like to turn it over to the superintendent.
Thank you. So based on the discussion at that school committee meeting, the mayor had asked about the city's website and how that operated versus our website. So I have asked our Lowell Public School webmaster, John Overton, to be here this evening and to walk you through the options that are available. And what we have available on our site isn't what the city side has, but he has had some conversation with them. So I'll turn it, with your permission, I'll turn it over to Mr. Overton at this time.
Thank you. So our current setup that we have is it's just basically a bunch of hyperlinks. When you go to the district site and go to contact, you can contact the entire committee by clicking a link, right? And it will open up a new email for the end user that goes to the SC at lowell.k12.ma.us. What that is a distribution group that will get sent to each of you and only you. So. And then below that is each committee member's name. So if an end user wants to contact them individually, they can do it that way. In the past, we had like an online form that a user could submit and kind of do the same thing. But the issue with that was for you guys, you couldn't easily reply to that email. That's why we kind of switched to the email version. What the city has, the city uses a different web solution that has a form center built into it, and it has the functionality where you can kind of pick and choose which counselors you want to send a message to. So if you only wanted to send it to 3 different counselors, you could do that. We don't have that capability with our website solution. I have talked to City Hall about potentially using their system. They don't see a problem with that. If you are interested in that, I can certainly gain access to it and test it out. I just don't know exactly how it works on the back end over there. So I don't know if you'll run into the same issue where you get a form submission and you can't reply to the email.
So in addition, and I know Mr. Nutter had asked about how the school committee would respond, and I feel that it would be not prudent of me to determine how you should respond. So I figured at this point you might want to open that up to discussion.
Ms. Martin, do you have any suggestions?
I think for the most part, I've been satisfied with the process as it stands right now. I do like the idea that people can pick individual committee people if that's their preference. And I do appreciate being able to immediately respond back with an email rather than having to kind of, go through this other process. I think that what prompted the motion, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Nutter, was wanting to loop in the administration and how that process would work, because I don't think this is necessarily addressing that.
No, actually, I really didn't want to put any more burden on the administration. If anything, I'm thinking maybe we should get rid of the option to contact everybody, because right now, what I noticed was people would send it to that email address, and yet you don't know unless somebody says reply all, and I don't know if we want to reply all, because then you get into, having a majority outside of a meeting. So, if I respond with one answer, it leaves the option that, another member could respond and say something even slightly different, and that could, so what was happening is I saw a lot of emails sitting there. I didn't see anybody responding. And I'm not sure how we do or what we do about that. But I just was looking for any type of options, that's all. No, the last thing I wanted to do was to, I know the mayor had mentioned, you have a choice, I know, on the city side. You can send it to a counselor or all the counselors, but you also have the choice whether you want to send it to the manager's office or not. And we don't have that on the site, and I really didn't want to add it to the site, because again, people want to talk to the school committee, I think. If they wanted to talk to you, they can find your email online. So I think maybe we'll just have to, talk about this more with the policy subcommittee and with our fellow members to see if, maybe they want to eliminate that one general mailbox and have people just send it to either individuals or select everybody and do it that way.
So at this time, would you want to consider the city side option? Would you want Mr. Overton to investigate that and try it out for you? Or are you, because it seems like the mayor might have been leaning towards that more, but if that wasn't the intent of the motion, then if you're happy with the way it stands and just removing the all, we can do that as well.
Yeah, I would be more apt to lean to removing the all, but Ms. Martin?
Yeah, I would actually prefer to leave the all, just because I think it's a good option when people are, if you want to reach the school committee, you do need to reach 7 individuals. So I think having that as an option, I think makes sense, because I think a lot of time people are calling with or emailing with an issue that every one of us has a vote on. And I also think, I can understand, we don't know who's responding to what, and we don't know who's saying what to who, but that's, in my mind, kind of life. I don't know what someone's saying to the constituent they run into at Demoulas, so I don't know that either. But I do think that it gives us the opportunity for people to be able to communicate with us as a group, but to Mr. Nutta's point, we do need to respond individually, because a reply all is not an appropriate response. I don't believe that that's been happening.
No,
I haven't seen them.
I haven't seen that
Okay.
either.
So, and as I think I had said at the meeting when this was first broached, from my perspective, it's always been, I will forward something that I personally, have that I think rises to that level. I'll respond, to the best of my ability. I think that's an individual, perspective. But I think, again, we'll take the full committee as this gets presented this evening to kind of make that determination. But I'm kind of the, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Mr. Dakota and Mr. Hoey are both in attendance. Would either of you gentlemen like to comment on this? Okay. Well, I appreciate the effort in looking into it. But I believe it would be the form field, and I'm like Ms. Martin, I'm not crazy about that method, because it doesn't let you reply to the person. And I like the option of replying, so. All right, well, do you have anything else, Ms. Martin?
No.
All right, I like these quick then we'll just take this as a report of progress and thank you, and I need someone to recommend adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Seconded. We'll see you all at 6:30.